Hey travel friends, today we're going to be talking about tips to prepare you for your Pacific Coast Highway or California 1 road trip.
First tip is go online and check for road closures. Whenever you're planning your trip or going, there are mudslides, earthquakes, wildfires that can just like close down certain areas. Go online, it's readily available for you to like check out what areas are closed so that you can plan your trip or make adjustments to your trip accordingly.
We are prone to landslides, and unfortunately, the one has actually been closed down for months.
Yeah.
So our second tip is actually to do the road trip north to south.
So the main reason that you want to drive from north to south or do this trip from north to south if you can is that we drive on the right side of the road. So it's much easier to turn off to a turnout when you're going from north to south. If you're going from south to north, some of the turnouts are not that friendly. They're like small, and so it might be a little bit more of like a hazard or an inconvenience. Our third tip is to get your car checked before you go. This is probably less of a problem if you're just like visiting from out of town and you're renting a car, because they should probably, make sure that the car is pretty good before they rent it out to you. But if you're just taking your own car, make sure you have enough coolant, enough of everything that you need in your car, because it is sort of like windy roads that can be like a bit demanding to older cars. And then also there are, some stretches depending on what route you're taking that like if your car breaks down, that would suck.
All right, so as we mentioned earlier to check for road closures, you should also be prepared for stoppage. We ran across a few different stoppage points, and they were actually putting in like boulders. They were also doing electrical. It can kind of come up suddenly, so just be prepared. The second stoppage is just going to be traffic.
Just be prepared for that and kind of account for that or allow some flexibility in your schedule. It's probably more likely to happen than to not happen.
All right, and our final tip for your road trip is to plan for stops. So do not have a jam-packed schedule.
No matter what route you're taking, there's going to be like cool looking points. There's going to be maybe like cool towns, maybe a little like cool shops or stalls or something like that along the way, right? I think it's part of any road trip experience to kind of like be surprised about what's on the road and stopping to enjoy that.
I think when you're doing a California 1 road trip, you should just take your time.
Yeah, you gotta like personify that like surfer dude, mentality where it's like, okay, dude.
You sound like the turtle from Finding Nemo. I think more you should just be one with nature.
Yeah. All right, guys. If you have personal tips of your own or sort of any recommendations on what we should do on our next California Pacific Highway Coast road trip, please leave them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and happy travels.